Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, traders from across the globe, and welcome to the 1137th edition of Short-Term Trading Live with Oscar Carboni, and that would be me. Traders, good evening. This video is being filmed on Thursday night for trading Friday, February 14th, 2014. As we know, futures trading can be extremely risky and cause substantial financial loss. Futures trading is not suitable for all trading accounts. If you do not use stops, if you do not recognize that a stop is your best friend, and if you do not place stops first before you even put the trade on, you don't know anything about this game because it's very risky. Use your stops. Come on down to livewithoscar.com. Now, what do we got going on? Traders, green Omni for trading on Friday and rock and roll for these markets the last couple of days, right? My goodness. In the last video presentation, I showed you the possibility that the Dow and the tranny had put in a shoulder ahead and maybe coming up here to put another shoulder in. And if that was the case, possibly we could be running into maybe a topping situation over the next few weeks, right? So I showed you a good technical argument about that, but luckily we're day traders, so we just traded the Omni, and the Omni was bullish day after day. Let me tell you, the picture is improving dramatically from our last video presentation. Not completely out of the woods, because we're not completely past this yet, but I will say the landscape looks much better now than it did just a few nights ago. Now, I purposely didn't do a video for the last 3 nights because the video I left you, if I came out for the last 3 nights, I would have had to basically do the same video over and over again. So now that the markets have moved, I've got something to show you. I will say this. The Omni is bullish. It looks like we're getting past the possibility of that head and shoulders topping pattern I was showing you in my last video. And because the Omni's bullish, it is my job to now go after a reason to be bullish, right? Which is what I always do when I have a green Omni. Red Omni, I look for the downside. Green Omni, I look for the up. Omni's green. Let me show you why now that the landscape is improving, maybe we got a good picture for the upside. With no further ado, let's go look at some charts. OmniCamp literally is the place where I hold back on nothing. I teach you the techniques I've ever learned. I teach you the great tips and tricks the floor traders taught me in my 32 years coming up. OmniCamp is your chance to come to Las Vegas and study with me, Oscar Carboni, for 4 straight days. And I want to make sure you leave with the knowledge and confidence that you can carry out these techniques yourself. If you feel ready, if you feel like you can come on down to Vegas and study with me for 4 days, come on down to livewithoscar.com and simply click the OmniCamp banner and fill out the application. Okay, traders, the same chart, the same series of charts I showed you in my last video presentation. I said, listen, this looks slightly ugly here. I think I smell a rat. Why? Well, you've got a shoulder, you've got a head, and we came down and started to come up, and if we cannot get above this shoulder and we start to range trade around here, that will build the other shoulder, and I assure you that is a topping formation. So that's what I showed you when 4 days were missing. We were down here. I thought we'd come back up and maybe do some topping, right? So this is something to absolutely worry about. We are not out of the woods because we haven't gotten past this, and this is the Dow Jones Industrial Average. It's the broad market. But let's look at a few more charts. The next chart I showed you, the Dow Jones Transportation Average. Shoulder, head, we are filling in this area. Just like I said, these 4 days weren't there. Add them in, and it started to fill this area in. If it continues like this and we do not take off here, this is what happens next, right? So this is our theory about what could happen, but we're day traders, and luckily Omni has been bullish day after day, and it's been showing us that we should be long, but this is for a slightly longer term picture. But now we look at the futures instead of just the broad indexes, and the picture starts getting more encouraging. From I smell a rat, you can put a line through that and say, hey, very encouraging. Why? Because you got above what could have been the other shoulder over here, and now you're building a flag. Hey, not bad. You got to like that, right? So the landscape is improving. Next, look at this one. The NASDAQ has gone crazy. Not only has it blown through what I thought could have been a shoulder building, it has taken out previous highs. This market is strong. NASDAQ looking fantastic. But there is more to look at. Now that I have to find something bullish, you just seen the S&P and the NASDAQ, I went shopping and I came up with some masterpiece charts. This one will lead into it. All right, so now if I got to come up with a bullish scenario, OMNI's bullish, I start looking at the charts. Here is what I stumbled upon this evening before the video. This is my OTAPMA, the Omni Trading Academy's proprietary moving average, right? Watch this. Transportation average. From a low down here that you can't see, runs up, puts in a high, new high for the entire average, runs down and hits OTAPMA, goes through it. After going through OTAPMA for a brief period, it runs up and puts in a new high over this one. Runs down, hits OTAPMA. Runs up, what's it do? A new high. Runs down, hits OTAPMA. What's it do? A new high. Runs down, hits OTAPMA. What should it do next? New high. Pattern. Love it. So I said, wow, there you go. I'll stick with that. It's holding OTAPMA. We are really up nice and high up here, right? We're in a big booming bull market. So we'll go with that for now. Now, of course, if you look at this picture, you can very well still make this shoulder and make this head, and we could still end up making a topping pattern. But there are reasons now to start saying that's not what's happening, and it's looking great. Now, look at this chart. Fantastic. Tonight's masterpiece chart, traders. Pull up a chair, get a little closer to your screen. Look at this. This chart is wonderful. Why is this chart wonderful? Wait until you see the pattern. I think the Russell is going to take us home. Here is what I want to show you. Russell dips down once again into OTAPMA. It takes 8 days to come back up to get exactly even to where it was before it dipped, and then you get an up move. What happens? It dips down below OTAPMA. It takes exactly 8 days to get right back to even, and you get an up move. Then you have a dip below OTAPMA. It takes exactly 8 days to get back to even, and you have an up move. Then the pattern gets a little faster. You dip below OTAPMA. It takes 6 days. You dip below OTAPMA, or you get to OTAPMA. It took 5 days this time. Now, we haven't seen OTAPMA for a while. We dip below OTAPMA. Guess what? 6 days. Right now. Tomorrow will be 7. Let me blow this up for you. Let me show this to you because this is interesting. Now, it's the same chart. I've blown it up. We're going to start with that first one. From this high, breaks OTAPMA. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days right to here. Unbelievable. So it makes it right back to this point of even in 8 days from the dip. Here, you get below OTAPMA. This is the lowest point below OTAPMA. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days right to here. Amazing. You get below OTAPMA. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days right to here. My goodness, what a pattern. So then I keep going. Blow it up. Now we're getting closer to today. So we just did that 8-bar pattern. Now here it hits OTAPMA. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're even. Comes down, hits OTAPMA. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're even. And it takes off like here and here. Here we are now. Top day for trading tomorrow. We get on OTAPMA. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're even. My goodness, that is a pattern. Away we should go. I love that, traders. I hope you love that too. That is fantastic. That is proof that we should move higher and not end up in that ugly head and shoulders scenario that we thought we possibly would see. And lastly on the Russell is this. The weekly. This has been solid forever. There has been no breaches at all. We had that little breach on the weekly Russell. Last week we are right back and we're all the way to here. All the way to here on the close for Thursday afternoon. That is a recovery. We should head back up. Once again, a round of applause. You gotta love the way these markets are just staying strong. Do your own charts. pull your own homework. Come meet me at livewithoscar.com. Okay, traders, so pretty interesting, right? I love these patterns. Now, we are not completely out of the woods, right? But we are looking much, much better. Hopefully this gets negated. And I gotta say, I love those short-term patterns. Now, this was for a slightly longer-term view. As you knew, this was out for 3 weeks, a month. We had to see if the shoulder was going to build. The short-term trading, like what I just showed you tonight, is for tomorrow. What I showed you tonight, we look nice and bullish for Friday. We'll take this one day at a time. Now, we all closed on Monday. Thank you, Lord, for a day off. We could use one of those. But we will be here rocking and rolling on Monday night, ready for Tuesday. So tomorrow's Friday. Get ready to buy the dip in the S&P. When the OMNI shoots the signal, follow the flash update. I will see you all at livewithoscar.com. I'll join you in my chat room. Remember, keep your emotions out of trading. One of the best things you can do to help yourselves with that is say this to yourselves every morning, every afternoon, every evening, and you know what that is. Stops are in. Emotions are out. Rock and roll video 1137, and I'll see you at livewithoscar.com. Futures trading is risky and can cause substantial financial loss. We do not claim or guarantee that you will profit from the information provided.